just yucking it up. Hey, folks, welcome to another edition of the show. This is like 2 years in the making, folks. I'm appreciating this one, not because we share a pretty cool name, but this gentleman, he just finished up his 10th year running this campus, and it still looks like you're in your first year, boss. Tell me how you do it.
Oh man, well maybe I got a good filter on my camera. I'm not sure, but I tell you, man, it is. I'm grateful that I've been able to spend the last 31 years of my life doing something that I absolutely love, and being able to see the fruits of that labor in folks who were once upon a time students, now successful alumni
Mm.
who've taken the world by storm. And there's some very whether it's lawyers, elected officials, business owners, executives at Fortune 500 companies, superintendents. I mean, I, I'm so proud that I've, in many instances, had just a small piece, a role to play in their success. And at the end of the day, man, people are our most precious commodity. And I've been in the people business for 31 years, and I wouldn't know what to do if it ended.
I would say that you're well placed, and that's Dr. Joseph Seabrooks Jr. Finished up his 10th year leading Dallas College Cedar Valley campus in Lancaster, Texas, folks. This year alone, the 60th anniversary campus event, a STEAM showcase, a scholarship program, a regional economic summit, a legislative breakfast. Should I just keep going? Series starting next month. 10 years in. What are you still trying to prove here, boss?
Really, it's not about me at all. It is about my the Dr. Joe May, who hired me. He drilled into us
Mm.
that three things. Number one, institutions don't have problems. People have problems. Industry have problems, and the community has problems. And our role is to address those problems and leverage our time, talent, and resources to be able to solve those problems. And if we do that, we will always be relevant. And man, I drank that Kool-Aid till my stomach got started to ache. And because he's right. He also used to talk about the community college space should be pursuing the non-consumers of higher education, the folks who don't think we're for them, who don't think that they would be welcomed, who don't think culturally they would fit in at a college environment. So as a result, man, we the least among us are returning citizens, men and women who have served time for whatever infraction, and man, it's a nightmare for those men and women to get reacclimated to society. Think about this for a second. You've been gone a decade. Nothing that you was used to.
Mm.
If you had an apartment or owned a house, it's gone. Your driver's license is expired, if you even still have it in your possessions. Um, your birth certificates, all your legal documents are all gone in the wind with wherever you were living, and you've been um, basically shackled for that time period. And so what that does to you mentally, physically, I can only imagine. And then not have the basic things we take for granted, like a driver's license, like a birth certificate, social security card. Um, it's all gone. So you're starting like, they're starting at zero, but damn, they start at negative 20.
That's a
So
problem. That is a problem. Like you said, the institution doesn't have a problem. I would push back on that a bit to say, whoo, staying in demand is a problem. Profitability is a problem. But to your point, if you keep your mind on the problems that are across the curb, you shouldn't be having the extent of the problems in staying in demand and staying profitable. That you've got a taproot. You were just speaking from purpose, and it was rich. I mean, you went right to the core of somebody that's in dire need, and it sounds like your campus has figured out there's a place for everybody here.
man, what I love most about Dallas College, You know, I've tried to engage juvenile populations and populations who've been troubled, who have some arrangement or supervised by some types of correctional facility. But man, when we brought these concepts to Dallas College, I mean, it is like almost like Joe, we've been waiting on you. What take you so long? What took you so long? I mean, man, I think about three programs that are all construction based. One is a general contractor program done in 5 weeks. Another one gets you on your electrician journey
Journeyman.
path in 5 weeks, and the other one works with HVAC, helps you prepare to enter in the installation space with some of our home builders, with Lennar Home Builder, who sponsors that, and so in 5 weeks, and so because they have days to transition, not weeks,
Mm-hmm.
not months, not semesters. If they don't get it together, the recidivism is real, and because people have to survive, and so for Dallas College to be just so, I mean, it's easy to do those types of things because we deeply care, and that's not even counting, our commitment to like foster care. Like we don't talk about these things. These are the invisible members of our community, folks who've not had traditional family support that many of us take for granted. When they transition in 18 years old, I mean, it's like, okay, but they have a lot of resources. There's a lot of states that invest in assuring that those folks get off to a good start. But like everything else that's public facing, applications are complicated, information is not clear.
Mm-hmm.
Usually there's people in their lives who hadn't done it themselves. So, but man, we've invested in the foster care system and providing training for folks, and got some great examples that I'm proud of folks who've had unbelievable, unimaginable. I mean, I'm talking about made for TV movie type experiences, and they're here.
Wow.
And
Wow, wow, wow. I just have this image of, almost like a street sweeper or something that's just going through and just clean, but preparing the way, cleaning the way. It's just saying, now I'm getting rid of all of the excuses. I'm getting rid of all of the friction in the system. And I'm just telling you, step here, and then that step will go here, making it as simple to scale a preferred future as possible. And you didn't start from a dean ladder. Your first 12 years were in alumni relations and diversity work, right? At your own alma mater. So
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
wondering what did that teach you that provost track that normally people in your seat, what did that teach you? Because you seem otherworldly. You're differentiated from most people I talk to, Joe.
Well, well, first of all, let me close the loop on something that you just described.
Yeah,
So, what you just described about the street sweeper and moving barriers, our chancellor, Justin Lunnan, he says that we're in the barrier busting business.
there it is.
So, whether it's addressing housing challenges, food insecurity, transportation issues, I mean, we have programs that we invest in deeply that you won't find in any other place. Like, every Dallas College student who's in at least, 6 credit hours or so gets a public transportation pass, the DART pass, and at no additional cost. And all of our locations, our campuses for sure, and some of our satellite campuses have food pantries. That our partnership with the North Texas Food Bank is second to none. And so, I mean, we are truly in the barrier busting business, and I've served two chancellors in this space that make me proud, uh, because again, I don't just make a living; I get to make a difference,
Mm,
and
so
and
good.
and I'm so grateful for that. Now, and I appreciate the kind words about who I am as a person, or at least appear to be. Um, I firmly believe, though, we are who we are, and our professions can either help magnify that or minimize that.
Mhm. Mhm.
So I am who I am. I'm Mrs. Ruth Ella Seabrooks' eldest son, God rest her soul, and Joseph Seabrooks Sr.'s eldest son. And the values that I learned as a young person, because you can have it all. You can be. I don't. I don't have to be successful at your expense, right? I can share all of my knowledge, um, leverage all of my network to help you possibly exceed where I go. But your success is not going to ever minimize mine, and vice versa.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
so I will tell you, and it was unexpected me getting into advancement. I was a former student athlete at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, home of the Fighting Kangaroos.
The
Uh,
kangaroos.
yeah,
That's right up there with the top 10 mascots
yeah,
ever.
absolutely, absolutely, 100%. And coming out of that, I was a redshirt senior who was in the middle of my graduate work, right dab in the center of my master's program in higher ed administration out of the School of Education. And I was applying for a graduate assistantships. And I wanted student life. I wanted to do student life. Uh,
I can see just where you would be
but
so well fit.
but God rest his soul, the legendary Dick Martin, who's a legendary athletic administrator, been at West Virginia. I think he used to even run back then the Big Eight conference. He was our executive director of our athletic foundation. And Dick Martin said, absolutely not. You're going to come work for me whether you want to or not. And because you could talk to people like that in those days. And I
And it was a
started,
yes sir from you,
at,
and then the whole world changed.
well, it was a chance for me to stay connected to the team I love, to the program that gave me um, a transformative experience. I absolutely was not the same young man I was when I came there, and then when I left. I mean, fundamentally different, and in a good way,
Yeah.
in a great way. And so I felt it was a chance to repay a unrepayable debt. So I jumped on it and brought a different lens to their approach, and it was hilarious because I mean, we could have been a sitcom. It's four guys from different walks of life. I was the only person of color, but Pete said it was just an amazing experience. And so that experience turned into a full time offer to work in the alumni constituent relation office. The legendary Joanna Sublin, who is still active in the nonprofit space in Kansas City. There's awards named after her. She was my first boss, full time. And so, and what I learned in that experience, because I was still, when you're young, when you're 21, 22 years old, like you want to do everything. And so doing that job in the alumni constituent relations space, I still was advisor or co-advisor to 8 or 9 student organizations. Like my role was to connect the dots. Most institutions struggle with alumni engagement, student engagement, and bringing them together, right?
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so I was very thankful for being able to be a part of that. And so, anyway, what I learned, the number one thing I learned, and I'm glad that was my first full time job because my philosophy coming out of that job is everybody I encounter, I want them to feel like my most wealthiest donor prospect. So, whether that's a prospective student or there's a homeless person who wandered into our lobby, or a parent who is very angry about their kid's experience, everybody gets treated like the wealthiest donor prospect.
What a
And
mindset.
and if you do that, so that one little philosophy has guided me through my entire journey.
And you got a lot cooking. I mean, you've leaps and bounds from those experiences back in the day, but that none of that has left you. I mean, you're still the same person, right? Yeah, that heart, that soul, that all that mighty strength that you have. You've got a lot of stuff cooking right now, and I can tell the partnerships that you've forged. They're not accidental, right? And just the foundation that you've got open admission, you've got under resourced zip codes, and you're running a vet surgery facility, a law enforcement academy, certifications through Snap-on, Kubota. I mean, just give Fiat, Chrysler.
Yeah.
Convince me that it's not just a brochure. Convince me that that's real and it's also expanding.
You know, I, I wish I could just take credit for all the things that you suggest as a value to our community, but man, I'm part of the ecosystem, man. This doesn't work because of me; it works because of we. And I just happen to be at the right place at the right time for you to notice and to think it's all about me. It's absolutely. My predecessor was Dr. Jennifer Wimbish was just as successful. Her predecessor, Carol Spencer, was successful in this
How
community.
how how long was your predecessor in that chair?
13 years. It's so
Okay, okay.
so
So
it's not
that's truth. That's fact. That's fact. The leader. That chair that you're sitting in there builds the culture. So you've been
absolutely.
around long enough to build that culture, and hopefully, it's on top of a very rich culture that your predecessor. Our call in life is to continue to advance, right?
Yep.
Advance the good work, the productive work of others that we're standing on their shoulders, and it's just very obvious. I mean, your
Yeah.
enrollments are doing all your numbers are doing all the right thing. Hey, friends, quick question before we get back to it. I know that you have talented people on your leadership team, but is your team actually performing to its full potential? Most aren't, and most don't know why. The Team Intelligence Assessment is a solution to change that. Find out where your team stands at higherperformancegroup.com. Go to find your starting point to get started today, or click the QR code in the screen right here. All right, back to the show. Your partnerships continue to expand and grow, and I just think this is probably the most exciting time for you to be in education right now.
It's man, what is those saying? It's the best of times and the worst of times, right? I mean, there's some policy things that are um, um, in the works that will fundamentally transform if they are implemented how we do business, how we're funded, and so that threat is real.
It is. It
Um,
doesn't change your mission, though. Doesn't
no,
change your mission.
no, but what it does. So I'll say it this way. Um, it's never meant for any one person or any entity to stay the same. And because our circumstances, our reality, our environment is constantly evolving. And the rate of change that's happening now, the time that we live in, is unprecedented for me. I, I remember 1994, 1995 when we all got PCs and we had to learn how to use this thing called Outlook. And I remember people like Dick Martin that I mentioned. What the hell is that? And Joe sent another email through in the campus mail, and I'm like, and there's people who fought that. And then it was the same kind of send over a fax to Johnny. They didn't send us our check. So and
Now we have 5-week certification programs that take as long as it took to get that fax from one office to the
and and you
next.
remember the sound those machines made? Yeah. So, but the world was fearful. It was people were afraid of chaos. I don't know if
Mm.
you remember Y2K and
Mhm,
that whole and so what I'm going to say to you is it is an exciting time, there are some times of uncertainty, but I'm blessed to be in a position to play a role in shaping how we respond. And we're not going to get it right. In fact, we don't get it all right now.
Right.
But
Learning opportunities.
what I would say, I'm with a group of colleagues who are extraordinarily talented, who care deeply, and with that combination, you can overcome any obstacle.
So good. So good. Cedar Valley.
Mm.
5 years out. Are you still smiling?
Oh man, so my biggest fear, and I know a lot of people are going to see this, but my biggest fear is for my usefulness to expire before my time. And I always, in my entire every job I've ever had, I always wanted to be able to leave on my time and on my terms. And that in leaving the institution, it's sad to see me go. And because I tell you, if and I would tell folks, I judge, and this is so, I mean, I shouldn't say it because it's going you're gonna think less of me, but
We got context. We know who you are.
I judge my success at a place at my retirement or my farewell party based on who comes, what's said, the gifts that you're given. And I can just say, man, I've had to leave my alma mater, University of Missouri, Kansas City. I've had to leave the University of Arkansas. I've had to leave the Metropolitan Community College District. And each one of those experiences, the farewell party told a story.
Hmm.
And from students being there overwhelmingly, the largest population that was in attendance at these
That's
events.
incredible.
Um, One of my most cherished gifts, and you can't see it, it's just right over there. Um, um, I got into this work and I was inspired by um, popular culture. And popular culture shaped a lot of what I thought I was going to do with my life. But this one particular film, Lean on Me, with Joe Clark, it set set the role model for how crisp, how direct, but how caring I can do this work. I can be accountable. I can be courageous, and I can care. And so the gift I got is a baseball bat that said they used to call me Crazy Joe. Now they call me Batman. It's just hanging up right there. And so it's those kind of um, usually you get these little paperweights or whatever, but a lot of thought went into that. And my chancellor at the time, Mark James, I mean, it just he knew me and he valued me, and that's why that gift is so special. And by the way, there's a baseball underneath it with everybody's signature who I work with. So that's how I judge
Like
my.
you said, I think you said something about making a difference. I think you said something about making a difference, and however long your tenure continues to be, I would just say that you're very well placed. I'm saying placed. I was going to say you're very well blessed. I was going to say both,
Yeah.
blessed and placed at the same time. So yeah, you're one of those guys I can just tell the care, the attention for the human on the other side of you at all times. So we're going to spend some time going into the lightning round here because some of the stuff that you just shared was a little bit superhuman. So I want to bring you back down to the human level. Okay, as we first thought. Okay, don't spend a whole lot of time thinking about this.
Okay.
All right. So are you ready?
I
Um,
think I think so.
you've got a lot of quotes I would imagine that you live by, but you got to pick one. Pick one quote that you live by.
Mohandas K. Gandhi said once, "Happiness is when what you think and what you do. No, happiness is what you think and what you say and what you do are in harmony." And man, that has guided me because it's real simple. You
Mhm.
know, say what you think and do what you say.
Mm-hmm.
And if you can master that, it cuts out all the confusion, all the clutter,
All the noise,
all
all
the
the
noise.
noise.
And it's
Okay. Worst and best advice. Worst first. Worst advice you've ever received in leading people.
the worst advice I've seen people give, and they still give it over and over. You should not get your academic credentials too young because you don't have enough experience to go along with it. And I think that's because I went straight through. I think I finished my doctorate at 28, 29, something like that. And what it did for me, it allowed the doors not to be closed because of the minimum qualifications.
How about best? Let's turn it to the best advice.
Is keep your family, keep your wife. Leslie is my love of my life. Uh,
Unpaid advertisement there.
always at the front of everything you do. So when someone walks in your office, it should be evident who's first in your life,
Mm.
and that has served me well um, everywhere I've been.
Do you have any unpopular opinions, boss, that you're eager to defend?
So what I have learned and what I'm learning and embracing is that based on the context and based on the circumstances, my opinions can be um, tweaked or even changed. I think even things that I strongly don't agree with, um, I haven't walked in those people's shoes who have those opinions, um, and I care more about uh, our people than their opinions, and I'm going to find a way uh, um, to some common ground. Because at the end of the day, I used to get questions a lot by graduate students. So if the KKK wanted to have a rally on your campus, what would you do? You know,
What?
they they would they would have full at we're a public institution. They would absolutely have to follow all the protocols, and of course, we would make some adjustments because we know potentially, based off our demographics, the challenges and clash that can cause. But they have every right. They are American. They're no less American than I am just because they have a very unpopular belief and philosophy in these parts. So that's the thing that I think we have to get back to is because I don't agree with you don't mean you deserve less than me.
The fact that your heart rate didn't get up like mine when you were telling that, Joe, just tells you that you are so well seasoned in being able to stay resolute to what is true, what
Yeah,
is
man.
right. And what is true and right might be a little bit different from the person behind you, but you continue to contextualize that truth and rightness to go, let's figure this out together. I'm wondering if there's something you've changed your mind about recently.
You know, I think I spent the vast majority of my life believing that the pathway to a sustainable life that you can be proud of at the end of it was fundamentally through higher education. But what I've learned is it's not the tangible credentials that you're presented with that does anything for you. It is the knowledge and the will and the belief to apply that knowledge is what gets you wherever you want to be in life. And so um, I don't talk to young people about jobs anymore. I talk to them about what is your pathway to prosperity? Because that's my purpose in life. Anyone I encounter, I want to help you find the tools, the belief, and the fortitude to discover your pathway to prosperity. And to me, that's financial independence, where no longer your time and effort is required to sustain your standard of living. Your standard of living, not mine, your standard of living. And to be able to do that, it takes a lot of knowledge that is sitting right in front of us. The stock market, I believe, for the last 90 years on average, has produced 7 and 9%, which means that it can easily double every 8 or 9 years. These last 25 years, it's been hovering at 10 or 12%. So people who have means, who know how that works, never have to work. But why is that different from us?
Right.
Why is that different from the bus driver, school teacher? The model works for everybody. So my mantra is how do we participate in our economy? North Texas is the 23rd largest economy in the world. $745 billion exchanged hands. State of Texas is the 8th largest economy in the world. Most of the teams who play here in the World Cup, our economy is bigger than their country.
Yes. That's perspective. That is perspective.
So how do you participate in that? I'm not going to talk to you about just going to work every day. How do you participate in that? And you participate in the economy by creating products and services that solve problems. That's simple.
Your purpose is in your bones, and what you do with that is also there. It's so very, very evident. I've got time for one more question.
Okay.
So, if there was one word for Cedar Valley's future or a short phrase, what would that be?
Well, our mascot, we're the Cedar Valley Suns, and I truly believe it's scientifically proven. Our existence fundamentally hinges on the sun. And everything from gravity to life happens because of the sun. And because we're the Cedar Valley Suns, I believe no matter what your circumstances are, what they may be, how bad you think things are, if you come to Cedar Valley, the sun will never set on your possibilities.
You inspire my heart today.
Oh,
Dr. Joe, you model the way. The results prove it. I mean, there are people that can just dream about it, and there's people that are just climbing up the ladder, but you're building it. You're one of the builders, and I've waited way too long to have you on, and such a gift, such a gift. I think anybody listening in just knows the heart that you have for not just the people of your campus, but for all people who have the opportunity to just be served by just genuine dignity and somebody who cares and will open the door and be that barrier breaker, as you said. So if you're listening to this right now and just wondering, oh, how do I work through some of the yuck of today? Because you mentioned this is an interesting season. How do I work through some of that yuck? There's a ton of hope that other people have that maybe you need to be leaning into. And Dr. Joe, you're one of those. You're one of those guys that I would just say is filled to the brim with hope. And I hope that you're tipping that over and pouring that out as much as you can, because the world so needs that. So needs that. So if people want to learn more about some of the initiatives and some of the really amazing things that you got going on, or about you in particular, where would you direct them?
So I think the best place to catch up and stay on top of what's happening is to just follow me on LinkedIn. It's real simple.
He's all over the place. That's what inspires me, is he's shining the light on so many different people every single day.
Yeah, and so that's the best way. But then also, if you come to our website, dallascollege.edu, you can see the plethora of opportunities that exist. But I just want to say thank you. I appreciate the very kind and generous words. I've becoming better at accepting compliments and support and words of appreciation. So I want to thank you. I don't know if I deserve it, but I'm going to work harder tomorrow to make sure I earn it.
We're going to just land that right there, because that's just the edification of everything that has happened up until this point. Peace, friends. Thanks for tuning in. Please check out all those resources that we talked about, and keep your dukes up and keep fighting.